Oh, here, I'll give you a hand getting out of the car. Oh, right, you don't have a hand. 'Cause you're a tree. Oh, and you brought your friend with you. Wow, 2 trees. So what I'm working on right now is a couple of trees that I bought on clearance from a local nursery. Now these are semi-dwarf yellow delicious apple trees, and they both have deer damage on them. They've got buck rub, they've got missing branches, they don't have an obvious leader on them, as you can see behind me, but I like that. I like asymmetrical trees. I like things to be more natural, but I have an idea as well. So the plan here is I'm going to take both trees and intertwine them into one another and plant them in the same hole. I went in the woods and removed all the leaf litter off the top of the soil there, and I end up with this beautiful dark leaf mold and topsoil mix, along with worm castings, because we have a plethora of worms here. I'm going to mix that together with a little bit of fertilizer, and I'm going to amend the soil inside the hole before I plant the trees, because we have a very thin coat of topsoil here, and you know, the clay with a massive amount of rocks starts only a few inches down. What I like to do is make my own special blend using the leaf mold, topsoil, and worm castings that I dug out of the woods there. I'll go ahead and mix them up here in this galvanized pail. You add a little bit of that. A little bit of organic fertilizer. A couple of acorns snuck in there, as well as some, you know, solid root masses from other plants, but that's okay. It'll all break down into nutrients. Go ahead and add a little bit more. A little bit more of that. And we just want to turn it over a little bit. Make sure everything is mixed thoroughly and that we get all the rocks and chunks of bark out that we don't want in there. Put that off to the side. Maybe from this perspective you can see here what we're working with in terms of quality of soil and what's under the ground here. The layer of topsoil is only about 2.5 inches thick, and just below that it quickly turns into, you know, clay, and the soil here is very acidic because there were very large old growth pine trees here, which I removed. They were standing dead, and there were some stumps when we moved in. So anyway, we got extremely rocky soil here. You know, there's no shortage of stone. So once we have our nice fresh mix here, oh, look at that, a plastic bag. You just never know what you're gonna find when you dig in the woods here near an old homestead. There's burn pits back there, there's old pieces of barbed wire fence. I mean, I've come across all sorts of things. So let me show you the difference in color here between the nutrient-rich topsoil and leaf mold that we just dug up compared to the natural stone and clay soil that is here just a few inches below the surface. This is why we have to amend the soil wherever we're going to plant anything. And if these trees have any chance of success, it's going to be this right here. Go ahead and add a little bit of our Beautiful, beautiful. This is about the 10th time we're gonna try this because the camera keeps shutting off. I don't know what's wrong with it. Now we want to work some of this into what's already here naturally, okay? This does two things. It softens up the substrate. You can see that's just all pure clay down there. It softens it up, gives the roots the ability to start clinging on to something, and puts a little bit of nutrients back in so that when the roots do get down a little further, they're able to still feed on something and they're not just sitting in clay that doesn't drain very well and doesn't provide them with anything they need. We got to deal with the background noise and the traffic for a bit. School is out. So we're going to orient the tree kind of the general direction that we want it facing. I want it to be something like this, I think. So we're going to go ahead and cut our root bag. And we're going to set her down in the hole there. Now we don't want it to be too far down, so we'll add a little bit more of that soil that we mixed up. Pick this up a second. Throw some of that underneath. Set our tree down where we want it. Put a little bit around the sides. I just cannot get this camera to keep on filming. Well, I'm just gonna have to trim the clips so that you can't tell that it shut off 400 times while I was filming this. So, our other tree that we got would also like some nice fresh dark mixed up soil there. So here's the plan. We're going to free this one from its root bag. And I want the trees to grow together like I said. This may be the most unconventional thing that you've ever seen done, but rest assured I know that it works because I've successfully braided many trees together and wound up with some really incredible specimens. Now, this is the tricky part. They got to do their dance and decide where they want to be. You see, I don't make the rules. I don't follow the instructions either. I spend time with the plants and I let them speak to me and tell me what it is they want me to do, and this is what I've been inspired to do this time. Twin trees crossing over one another. Beautiful. Look at this. We've already got a yellow delicious apple. Not quite ripe for the picking, but maybe by the end of next season. We'll go ahead and add some of the compost from this other root ball on top here so we can feed them. Don't want to suffocate them, so we're going to make sure that we're just covering the roots, but providing sufficient nutrients for them all around. Give them the best possible start. Nice drainage so the water can flow downhill and off the surface here. There we go. First thing I want when I get home is a drink. Just like Mother Nature, make it rain.
I like that.
Make it rain. I like that.
Make it rain.
Rain, 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 rain.